Hi everyone, I'm Karen and welcome to Yoga with Weights. So today's class is going to be a little bit spicy, a little bit sweaty, but super fun. So I invite you to go ahead and grab some weights. I've got some 3-pound weights with me today. You can have the option to bring it up to 5, you can take it down to 2, 1, you can even use nothing. You can just use your body weight and the whole workout will be just as effective. So we're working on building strength whilst also working on flexibility and creating that balance within. So let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So bringing the knees out wide, big toes to touch, and then sink the hips back towards the heels. Allow the crown of the head to fall. Allowing yourself to settle in here. Feeling the expansion through the back body with each inhale and a softening with each exhale. And as we move throughout today's practice, I invite you to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And this will help to release heat within the body as we move through this practice today. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh out. Inhale, crawling your hands off the side of the mat to the right. Maybe that left hand comes on top of the right hand here, breathing into the left side body. Pressing the hips towards the heels as you reach through the fingertips. Inhale back through center. And then exhale over to the left side. Maybe bringing that right hand on top of the left chair. Expanding into the right side body. Sinking into those hips, reaching through the fingertips. Inhale back through center. And on an exhale, rising into your tabletop position. So stacking the wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips, spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze as you press the chest forward. And exhale, round through the spine, allow the crown of the head to fall, tucking the pelvis, press into that space between the shoulder blades. Let's take a few here with breath. I invite you to close the eyes as you tune into sensation over sides. Moving through your cat-cow shapes. And bringing awakening into the spine, and the back body, the hips. One more round. And then coming to stillness here. Beginning to draw circles over the wrists with the upper body. Just bringing some warmth into our wrists here as we move into this practice. Change direction of the circles. Focusing on pressing the mat away, spreading those fingers wide. Coming to stillness, turning the fingertips in to face the knees. Just rocking gently back and forth. Feeling that stretch through the forearms. And then turning the fingertips to the sides of the mat. And just rock gently from side to side here. Focusing on pressing that mat away. Engaging the core. There's that space just beneath the belly button. Drawing it in towards the spine. Finding stillness, sitting back on the heels, toes tucked, interlace the fingers here, beginning to draw some figure of 8 shapes with the hands in one direction, and then changing the direction of those shapes. Breathing here, and then shake out the palms, opening, close the fingers, shaking them out, release, release, release. And then coming back into that tabletop position, toes are tucked, take a deep breath in. And exhale, sink back towards that child's pose one last time. Reach, reach, reach through those fingertips. Coming back to that breath, in and out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And let's make our way back to that tabletop shape. Grabbing a hold of one of your weights with your right hand here. So pressing firmly through the left hand, pressing with that right, engaging, grabbing the hold of that weight. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, bringing the elbow up over the back body, squeezing that tricep, that bicep, engaging the back body. Release down to tap. Exhale, lift, squeeze. Release down. Begin to move with your breath here. Softening the gaze just towards the mat, releasing the neck, but pressing through that left hand. Squeezing and engaging as you exhale and lift that arm up. Engage the core. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, switching sides, taking it over to the left hand, pressing firmly through that right hand, grabbing a hold of that weight, engage the core, squeeze it up, hugging that elbow in close to the side body as you squeeze and lift. Exhale, inhale, release down to tap, exhale, squeeze up. Begin to move here with your breath, making it smooth and controlled. Noticing maybe this is easy and you want to level up and take another weight, or maybe this is already burning and you're like, nope, I don't need a weight today. Choosing what works for you, and let's move here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down. You can set that weight off to the side. And then move through one cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale to round the spine. As you do, send those hips up high, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, bend into the knees. Bringing any movement into the hips, the hamstrings, the shoulders, releasing the head and neck. And then find stillness, pressing the chest towards the thigh, chin towards the chest. Little bend in the knees as you reach the hips up high. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands to shins, lift and lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach those arms up high as palms touch as you lift the gaze. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades in as you press the chest forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge to fold back down. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, moving through your first vinyasa, high to low plank. Option to drop those knees, hug those elbows in close as you lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra, press that heart forward, lift the gaze. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, hips up high. 2 more deep breaths here. Pressing the spine long as you reach those hips up high. And it's totally okay here if your heels don't meet the mat. Having that little bend in the knee helps lengthen through our spine here. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach those arms up high, palms touch, lift the gaze. And then cactus the arms in the exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades in. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, hinge to fold. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Full deep breathing here. Awakening the body. Drawing in some heat, some warmth. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach those arms up high. Let's move through one more flow. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, release back down. Inhale to lift the spine, lengthen. Exhale, move through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, reach that right leg high, point through the toes. As you exhale, hug the knee in towards the chest and then step it between the palms, keeping that back heel lifted, and then grabbing a hold of those weights. Releasing it all the way up. Hands come to heart center, lifting through the left heel, bending into that right knee, and then bring the feet to a hip width distance. That'll really help with our balance in this shape. Open up the palms, bringing the hands to a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to release down alongside. Exhale, squeeze in, bicep curls. Release down, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Moving slow and controlled. Dropping those shoulders. Softening the face. Notice where you're gripping. See if you can just release a little bit. You're gripping the weights really hard. You're clenching your jaw. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the arms straight down. Drop that left knee to a hover. And as you exhale, lift back up, squeeze into that bicep curl, engage that left glute as you lift up. Release down, squeeze up, exhale. Inhale down, exhale up. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, drop the shoulders, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up and then release those hands down. Drop those weights, plant the palms, stepping it back, moving through a vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet. I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling that burn on my left side, my right side. Find stillness. Inhale our right leg back up to the sky. And then exhale, step it through. Grabbing a hold of those weights, bringing them into the chest as you rise. And then holding them here at the chest. Tilt a little bit forward. Step that left foot up to meet your right, coming onto the left toes, still bending into the right knee. And then step it back. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. 10, 9, soften the shoulders. 8, 7, squeeze the biceps. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it back. Reach those arms up high. And then back to heart center. Arms down. Drop those weights. Plant the palms. Stepping back. Flowing through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, bend into the knees. Taking a few cleansing breaths here. Releasing that heat within. Inhale, that left leg sweeps the sky. Exhale, stepping between the palms. Grabbing our weights as we're going onto the opposite side now. Hands at heart center. Lifting through the right heel. Sinking to the left knee. And then open up those palms. Palms facing the sky. 90-degree angle. Hug those elbows and close the side body. And then finding our biceps curls here. Squeeze. As you bring the arms up. Inhale on the way down. Soften the shoulders. Soften the gaze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them down. Drop that right knee to a hover. And exhale, crunch back up. Straighten through that right leg. Engage the right glute. Squeeze the biceps. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. So squeeze those inner thighs. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down, lifting through that right knee. Hands at heart center, tilt forward, and then tap that right foot in, keeping that bend in the left knee. Soften the shoulders down, squeeze those elbows into the side body. Tap it back, step it in. Tap it back, step it in, exhale. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to center, reach those arms up high, and then drop them back down, bending forward, dropping the weights, planting the palms, stepping it back, moving through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pivoting out the feet and bending into those knees one at a time. Feeling that burn. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach those arms up high. Cactus arms, open the chest, exhale. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, hinge to fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps the sky. Exhale as you step between the palms, grabbing hold of those weights, and then pivoting towards the long edge of the mat. So feet are out wide. Bring those hands into the chest. Little bend in the knees as you rise all the way up. Exhale. Turning those heels slightly inwards, toes slightly outwards, sinking into our goddess pose here. Getting situated. Sinking into the hips, pressing the knees outwards towards the back of the room, tucking the pelvis, sinking the hips straight down. Hands come to heart center, and then open them out wide. Cactus those arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades in towards the spine. 90-degree angles here. And as you inhale, we're going to extend the legs, reach the arms up high. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sink in. And then rise through the legs, extend the arms up overhead. And then you can create a little cross with your weights here. Interlace the fingers around them, bringing them up above. And then finding a tricep dip. So squeeze those elbows in towards one another. Engage your triceps, sink back into your goddess squat. You're going to exhale, press up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up, squeeze. Inhale, lower. 10, 9, 8, 7, sink low, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Rise up, hands back to heart center. Good job, guys. Sinking back in one more time. And then you're gonna punch the right arm out towards me. Back in, squeeze that elbow as close to the body as you can. Engage the bicep, press out, in, out, in, out, in. Soften the shoulders. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then you're going to press out to the side, pivoting on the ball of that right foot, back and center. Punch out to the side, come into the toes or the ball of that left foot, center, out, center, in, center. A little bounce between as you come through the middle into that goddess squat. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Punch out. Back through center. Tiny pulses. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up. Inhale. Exhale down. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale. Great job. Hands at the heart, pivot back to the front of the mat. Release those weights down, plant the palms, step it back, move through a vinyasa. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Bend into those knees. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep those arms up high, palms touch. Exhale, cactus arms, open the chest. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, move through a vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, drop the knees, cross the ankles, sitting back towards the heels, and then extend those legs out long in front of you. Coming down onto the mat and then grabbing those weights, keeping them close by, coming into our boat pose, Navasana. You're gonna lift the feet off the mat and then create that crisscross with the weights again, interlace those fingers, reach them out in front of you, soften the shoulders, open the chest, lengthen the spine. Tap it over to the right, center, left, exhale, center, right, center, left, center. Let's go 10, 9, 8, engage the core, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, come on, you got this. Last one. Woo! And drop those weights down. Still keep them nearby. We still got one more exercise to go. Grab a towel, grab some water. And then keeping those feet on the mat, knees bent. Reach the arms out long in front of you, create a C curve in the spine, releasing all the way down onto your back body. Hug the knees into the chest when you get there. A little rock and roll from side to side. And then come to stillness, extend those legs up long towards the sky. You can have a little bend in the knees here, press through the heels as you flex through the toes, send them back towards you. And then grab a hold of those weights. Bending the elbows here, pressing the weights towards the sky. 90-degree angle, stacking the wrist above the elbow here. And you're gonna exhale, reach up, pressing the palms towards the feet. Engage the core. And then as you come back down, pivot those arms back to the mat. Exhale up, crunch, inhale down. Let's begin to move here with breath. 10, 9, 8, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, soften the shoulders as you come back down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down. You can plant the feet back on the mat, dropping those weights down beside you. And let's hug those feet, knees in towards the chest, drawing some circles here with the knees in one direction. And then changing the direction of those circles. Finding a happy baby shape, taking hold of the outer edges of the feet, maybe behind the thighs. Soles of the feet reach up towards the sky, and then a little rock and roll from side to side here. Pressing the lower back into the mat as you soften the shoulders. Coming back to that natural breath. Gently releasing, knees back and towards the chest, and then crossing that right ankle over the left thigh. Reach through, either interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, or maybe around the left shin. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, soften the shoulders in towards the mat as you hug the knee in towards the chest. You can release and roll out that left ankle, drawing circles. Allowing each exhale to really soften you a little deeper into the shape, breathing into the hips, the hamstrings, releasing in that right glute. And then gently release. Let's switch sides. Left ankle over right thigh. Interlace nose fingers and then hugging in on an exhale. And you can choose to stay here in stillness, maybe add a little rock from side to side. Softening the shoulders, softening the face, and noticing the breath return to its natural rhythm. Maybe rolling out that right ankle in one direction and then the other. And then hugging those knees back in towards the chest. Giving your body a great big hug. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, allow your knees to fall over to the left side. Extending the arms out wide, sending the gaze over the right shoulder. Maybe bringing that left hand to rest on top of the right thigh. Breathing here into the supine twist. Deep, full belly breaths. Soften the space as you soften the shoulders down. Inhale back through center. And on an exhale, let the knees fall over to the right side. Extend those arms and gaze over the left shoulder. Maybe bringing that right hand on top of the left thigh. And take a full deep breath as you soften into the supine twist. And gently bringing it back through center. Hugging those knees back in towards the chest. And then on exhale, release the body long, releasing the arms alongside. Taking a few moments here in stillness, allowing yourself to rest and release. Shavasana. And gently bringing awareness back to the body and the breath. Bringing movements into the toes, the fingers, the ankles, the wrists. Reaching the arms up overhead, stretching from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. And gently making your way up into a comfortable seat when you're ready. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Thank you so much for joining me in this strong and sweaty practice today. Go out and have a wonderful day. Namaste.